I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter holiday. I have some scary news, although I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. The collective unconscious is seeing something going nuclear. Now, this could be literal or it could be very metaphoric. We're talking about dreams. And before you start laughing, collective dreams are very important. And if you don't know why, please see the beginner's guide. But we have in our midst, we have several days worth of, alarming words and alarming memes that might manifest out here in the real world. Where mind goes, the behaviors follow, world news follows, etc. We've seen this over and over again with the collective dream bot runs. So this is not something to laugh at, but is this metaphoric or not? So what we have here in the red arrows is kind of like just boats. I mean, you have cruise, ship, and even boat. So there's some sort of boat there, and then you've got like riding and tickets. So it's almost like a amusement park kind of thing. But then you've got the orange arrows, which kind of look like Uranus, where there's a lot of unknowns, uncategorized. There's a guessing game is what's going to happen. And then, Uranus kind of likes to throw like a hand grenade into your reality and change it all up. That's this hot nuke right here. But then, if we really go into this word nuke, this is day number 3 in a row. And that is, it's not unusual, but it's not common. Like, not all these words do this several days in a row. And it takes an increasing score, and it takes an increasing amount of hits on this word in order to stay in the Dreambot run. That's how the algorithm works. If you start having just the same amount of words over time, you're going to drop off. Nuke should drop off. So in order to stay on the Dreambot run, the word nuke has to actually increase in the dreams. Even though the surge score is going down, you can see that it actually has a positive score versus its history. I won't go into the details there. Let's get into the word nuke, because a cruise missile. I was thinking of cruise ship, obviously, because of the other boat words, but cruise missile, these can be nuclear. Even ships, they can be nuclear powered, particularly your submarines. And so look at this. You've got FAT is the first atomic bombs in World War II. Fat Man, and then little boy, although this is the word smaller right next to it. That's kind of crazy to me. That's crazy. And then you've got nuke hot. Hot means that we're on a hot run. If you're in the military, if you're on a mission to employ some sort of nuke, the word hot means that you're armed. All your switches are on and ready to go. All you have to do is push the pickle button, and boom, you're gone. So, or the missile's gone, or the bomb is gone, whatever you're employing there. So it's extreme though, super and events. So anyway, how do you combine? Well, let's go to the previous days, because this is important. No, why did I do that? Here you go. All right, this is yesterday, and nuke is right here. And so we can read with the linguistics, amazing lab-led nuke purchase. So it's kind of like maybe there's some news that comes out about a new power source or a new laboratory nuclear either power or nuclear device. Okay, maybe a third world country gets nuclear. But then 2 days ago, this is when it started, and this one's concerning. I wrote in there, insight, hang likely crash nuke. So maybe something nuke crashes, like maybe a submarine crashes. Maybe a crash of a bomb, but this might be metaphoric. So let's come back to today. And this one is, nuke hot source represented. I don't know. That doesn't really, not all that meaningful, but look, president, the president is the only one, apparently, who can order a nuclear bomb to be employed. So that could be the meaning there. But with the president and the impeachment news and all the Mueller report and all that, this could be something having to do with world news. I mean, the president has some nuclear event. That's metaphoric for there's going to be some sort of change in the president's life. So that's highly likely as well. The other thing too is whenever there seems to be some sort of big news issue, there tends to be a war, particularly if there's some economic disaster looming. For some reason in the past, it's correlated with some big wartime kind of news. So anyway, I would expect at the least, and we can continue in the astrology here, but wild ride is probably what we're going to be looking for. This is going to be Monday, the 22nd, and we start off with the moon oppose Mars. And, that's not particularly negative, but it's kind of stirring up the bee's nest. It's getting you irritated. It's getting you frustrated, possibly maybe feeling constrained a little bit and wanting to break out. It's in tropical Gemini. And then you've got the moon. Your emotions are in tropical Sagittarius. So it's fire. I mean, it's on. And, Gemini likes to be coherent with people and likes to get along. But it's going to be hard with this Mars influence, particularly when emotions are countering against me. So that kind of gets the edge up, if you will, midday on Monday. And then the sun crosses up with Uranus. And that's a big old change. And this is what we talked about earlier. I mean, setting like a nuclear bomb to your life. In other words, not maybe not bad change necessarily, but unexpected change. Expect the unexpected. And that's in the tropical Taurus. So, your earthly things, your material things, your material life, that's all changing. And again, doesn't have to be bad. It's changing. And so the key here is, can you adapt? This is demonstrating the health of your brain, called neuroplasticity. Can you adapt to something different? Now, it gets even better than this, because next day, this is Tuesday, you're going to see, sorry, I was trying to listen in. I got the window open. I was hearing some strange noises behind me. You got the moon trine Uranus. So now, the yang hit up Uranus. Now the yin is hitting up Uranus. So now the emotions are changing, probably as a reaction to the changes that are happening in the material world. And of course, the emotions are on fire because you've got the Sagittarius tropical. Now, here's something interesting. Early in the day, you have moon meeting up with Jupiter in Sagittarius. That's very early in the morning on Tuesday morning. And that could feel very fortunate. It's not even that your life all of a sudden turns fortunate. It's just you feel very grateful. That's the influence there, like super grateful because of Sagittarius fire, and maybe feeling impulsive. I mean, that Jupiter gives you the good fortune of you just happen to do everything right. And so you have that I don't know, fortunate contentment, genuineness, affording to be able to go forth impulsively. But depending on your chart and your personality, I'm not suggesting that everyone should be impulsive in that case. It's just that's the influence. Now, we're going to get into the solution, and I was going to throw in the solution just for this impulsiveness, which is Ophiuchus. And Ophiuchus likes change, and so it's got to make sense. And he was the healer. He brought people back from the dead. This is the folklore. brought people back from the dead, and the gods didn't like it, so tried to fight against that skill set. But nonetheless, he's known as a healer. So, but loves new things, new challenges, new routines. So that could be going for you. New routines could be great. But, let's go back to Monday. We've got this Aries feel. We're in Sidereal for the solution. I hope now if this is all new to you, having two zodiacs, then see the beginner's guide. But we have the influence on the inside, and we go to the solution, and you've got to honor that that Uranus is being touched by the yin and the yang, which we had for over the weekend. And so Aries is in particularly very important. Now, get this. I did some searching around for the nuclear version of Aries, or the nuclear influence for Aries. And guess what I found? The Aries project is commensurate with the nuclear world. And so on the next slide shows that the Aries project is a national multi-institutional research activity performing advanced integrated design studies to identify key research and design directions and provide visions for the U.S. fusion program. Now, it doesn't say whether or not this program or project Aries is for industrial nuclear power or for nuclear weapons. But regardless, I thought that was crazy because the solution is Aries. Like, that's just beyond crazy. If you want to look this up, put in your Google this DOI number right there, and then you'll be able to find it. But here's how long it's been around. It looks like about 1990. So it's been around for a couple decades. And look at all these projects that I didn't have time to research all these, but that's crazy that the name is Aries. So here we are with a wild ride, and that's indicated here by the picture. This is for the NationalDreamCenter. And we just have to buckle up. We got to buckle up because might be some changes here. This nuclear thing might be real, but it also might be metaphoric, and you might experience just a really unexpected change in your material world, your physical world. And can you have the power to hang in there? Do you have the Ariesness? Can you bring the Aries to be in your life to face these changes strongly, bravely, honestly, staying transparent and forthright, without arrogance, but very confident, very mature, optimistic, without going off into being overly competitive and aggressive? I mean, that's the Aries way, right? So this is the intervention. You got the same wild ride here. Bravely move through change like it's you who designed the change. We can have an existential discussion on who's making these changes. And, some people might say, like, higher self or soul. You came into this life agreeing to these changes at this particular time in your life. So can you meet it without getting selfish and self-centered? When big change happens, we tend to kind of go into our shell because we're experiencing all these emotions, and we forget there's all these other people out here who's might be experiencing some great change and some upheaval as well. And so can you get out of your selfishness? Can you get out of your self-centeredness? And even though you're struggling, can you help others while you're adapting to the world? That is probably the biggest question of these next couple of days. And if so, you guys will be ready. Thanks for being here, and hope you enjoyed. We'll see you on Tuesday evening.